used to be this shit slick about it. Right, got no hustle or nothing, so he gon' stick about it. I be knowing the rundown, I'm doubting, so I can't speak about it. She know all the things, and she love me, I bring the freak about it.
Welcome back, YouTube. Nick here with another video, and this video is going to be on getting your license to carry in the state of Texas. So I just got my license to carry about I'd say about a few days ago. This just came in the mail. It took about a month to get here, but we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons and why somebody would get a license to carry in a constitutional carry state. So if you didn't know, Texas does have constitutional carry, so you don't need a handgun license to carry a handgun, but it does make gun purchases easier. And a lot of people on Texas Gun Trader, they won't sell to you if you don't have your license to carry, which is also a good thing to get this. Some of the cons where you have to get fingerprinted. It costs about, so the class was about $50, and then this paperwork on texas.gov costed about 40, 45-ish, and I'm pretty sure actually it was 40, and the fingerprints that I got were $10.21. So altogether you're looking at about $100 to get your license to carry. But in my opinion, it's definitely worth it, especially if you like guns, or if you do carry a gun for self-defense 24/7. It's good to take the proficiency test. So one thing about the proficiency test is it's a very easy test. So I took it. I think I had one Delta, but all of them were alphas and Charlies. So I had like 4 Charlies, 1 Delta, and 3 alphas. So I did pretty good. You start shooting, I'm pretty sure you shoot about 15 rounds at 3 yards, 15 rounds at 7 yards, and then, or I think it's 20 for 3 yards, 20 for 7 yards, and then 10 for 15 yards. So if you do what my instructor was telling me was, if you do good for the first 2, the 7 and the 3, you don't really need to be perfect at 15, but it always helps to get handgun practice and always practice with your handguns. So that was pretty good on my part. So ages. In Texas, you cannot get a handgun license if you are 18, but you can purchase a handgun as long as it's not from a FFL. So you can purchase a handgun if it's through a private sale of like on Texas Gun Trader, where they do private sales, but you cannot fill out a 4473 and get a handgun, or an other if you want to get if you want to buy it online. So an other is like a lower AR-15, just to try to build it. And I learned that the hard way, because I ordered this was back in 2019 or early 2020. I ordered a PSA lower for, I think it was like 109 at the time, and the FFL wouldn't let me have the lower because I wasn't 21. So you do have to be 21 to apply for your handgun license. So the shooting course is 2 hours. There's laws, which are 2 hours, 45 minutes for safe storage, 45 minutes for nonviolent dispute resolutions. So in total, it is 5 hours and 30 minutes. So 5 hours and 30 minutes to make your FFL transfers fly honestly makes this card worth it. And it's also another form of residency. You can take this to, if you're going to school, or if somebody needs to get an ID or driver's license, you can also use that. But we're going to talk about some of the laws that they went over. So, so in Texas, if you are stopped by a law enforcement officer, you have to tell them that you are carrying a firearm. If you are carrying a firearm, no matter what happens, as soon as you get pulled over, you have to have both hands on the steering wheel and let them know that you are carrying a firearm, and let them know where it is, and do not move towards your firearm at all. Like, bad things can happen. We've all seen the videos. So that's one thing about Texas. And another thing is there's 2 penal codes that apply to license to carry holders only. 2 penal codes. So that's like the penal codes are 30-6 and 30-7. So 30-6 means that you can't carry it. One of them is on the premises concealed, and one of them is non-concealed. So they'll have a slash through it like this. They'll have a slash through it if it's both penal codes. So I'm pretty sure 30-6 is the concealed and the 30-7 is open carry. So if those are stated where you're walking into, like a hospital, or you can't have it at a school, 1,000 feet of a correctional facility, any polling place on election day, any professional sporting events, racetracks, horse racing, dog racing, inside any school grounds, anywhere that sells 51% of their alcohol or more, makes their profit off alcohol, in an airport or into federal property, which is including post offices, VA hospital, military bases. That is including the sidewalks and parking lots. Places they are allowed is rest areas, state forests, state parks. Those are all perfectly fine. And you cannot carry a handgun if you are intoxicated. So it's a good class to take. It's very informative, and it does talk about safe gun storage. So if you have kids and you have a firearm, it cannot be out of the safe unless the magazine is out of it. So if the magazine is in it and there's one in the chamber, you can get fined, you can get CPS called. But if it doesn't have the magazine in it, you should be fine. I just say, if you have kids, just be aware. You know your kids more than me. You know your house more than me. So just make sure that you're keeping your little ones safe and stuff like that. So I went over the price. Okay, so the reciprocity. So for Texas, these are the reciprocity states. So that just means that you can use your handgun license in any of these blue states. So the blue states are where you can use your handgun license. The red states are not, obviously, California, Oregon, Washington, and then I'm pretty sure this is Montana. Yeah, Montana, Illinois, New York, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey. All those states except for Vermont. Vermont's okay, but it's definitely worth it, especially because these are the only states that I'd go to, honestly, or in these 6 right here, from South Carolina to Texas. So, I mean, if you're not going anywhere other than those states, you'd be perfectly fine. So you do not need a license to carry if you have no felonies or anything like that. Texas is a constitutional state. This was just a short little video to let you know, like, some of the laws around it and like what you got to do. So once you get your LTC 100, which is this form right here, you get your LTC 100, you just I did a screen fax, so they want a PDF form of it, so I just scanned it and then turned it into a PDF and then sent it off, and they got back to me with my card. They ask you some questions about some rehab, if you ever been to rehab, if you ever had any felonies or if you ever been locked up for anything or anything like that. They ask you your residence for 5 years, the last 5 years of residency. They ask you, yeah, that's pretty much it for questions that they ask you. And then once you do that, once you send all that stuff in your LTC 100, you send in your fingerprints. So I didn't have to go through their website to send in the fingerprints. I just had to go to the fingerprint station, and then they scanned my fingerprints, they took a picture, and then they sent them off for me. So I didn't have to do anything for that, which was pretty smooth. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and don't forget to stay strapped. Peace.